Hi, I'm Elkie Holland from Prospectus IT Recruitment, and I'm here today with David Cooper, Technical Lead from Bluefinity. David, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Today I wanted to explore a bit more about the kind of applications you can develop with Evoke.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. What sort of applications can you develop?
Three main types of applications. A browser-based application, what we call a hybrid application, and thirdly a native app.
Okay. What's the difference between them?
Okay, so the first one, a browser application, is basically a website. But when you implement apps using that approach, the UI of the application kind of adopts the culture and appearance of the platform that you're running on. So it looks more like an application than, maybe a consumer-facing website. The second one, hybrid app, is also built using HTML technologies like the first one, of course, being browser-based. But when you come to actually deploy the application, it gets crunched up inside a special container and gets deployed as an actual native app on the device. And hybrid apps are only really relevant for the mobile world, for tablets and phones. The technology that Evoke integrates with in order to provide that hybrid app capability is a product called PhoneGap, which is by far the most commonly used way of creating hybrid apps. The third kind of app, the native app, is in fact the kind of application that we've been creating for Windows for years and years and years. It's an application that is built using the native software development kit of the platform. But of course nowadays when we use the term native app, we're also talking about creating native iOS apps and native Android apps as well. So you can create all three of those kinds using Evoke.
Okay. How would a developer decide which sort to go for, whether it's browser, hybrid or native?
Yeah, good point actually. The decision will be guided by a number of different factors. So, for example, one thing that's going to influence you is the range of skill sets that you've got within your developer community. So if your developers know how to create HTML and JavaScript applications, then the first two, the browser and the hybrid apps, are going to be natural candidates for you to gravitate towards, because your skill sets that you have at the moment kind of fit the way in which you write those applications. Also, the capabilities that you want your app to have will influence your decision. So, for example, if you want the application to be able to work whilst it's offline and maybe have a substantial database available to it whilst you've got a network connection, then that will probably steer you down the native app approach, or the hybrid one as well, both cater for that. And the browser application is probably not the appropriate one there. Also, the way in which the application needs to integrate with the underlying hardware capabilities and software features of the device or platform it's running on will have a bearing on the approach that you take as well. So for example, if you're writing a Windows application and you want to be able to access the file system, then you're going to have to go native app for that. Likewise, if you're writing a mobile application and you want to get at some of the really kind of low-level hardware features, then the native app will be the approach to take.
Are there any cost implications for making it help or steering the decision at all? Or?
Yes, there are a few actually. When you start looking at the hybrid and the native app approach, you do start to potentially incur some costs in terms of setting up your development infrastructure. And so, for example, if you want to develop for Apple devices, then you're going to have to subscribe to the Apple developer program, and possibly also buy a piece of Apple hardware in order to actually compile and build your application as well. So yes, there are a few cost implications for the different approaches.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to
Yes.
talk about it.
Thank you very much.